essentially, there are several concepts around streaming. We have streaming itself, which is the process of processing record-by-record data, which has been simultaneously generated by multiple sources. So, and there are already a lot of information in this sentence. So we're talking about processing data. We're talking about processing data based not on the full data set, but just on a single record and all the records that we have seen previously. And all this data is generated by a given number of sources, which could increase, decrease. It shouldn't be a problem. So going to the next slide, streaming data is data that has been generated continuously by those sources. So think about an IoT device streaming data about the temperature in our room. Or if you're wearing a wearable device and you're running, the device is constantly streaming data about your heart rate. Or it could be a medical device. So something that is generating a continuous flux of data. And going to the next slide, we can then talk about techniques that needs to be applied to process this data. Because as we mentioned before, when talking about streaming, we leave the idea of knowing the entire data set behind. So we have a delta of what will be the data set today, and every record is adding more information, and we need to decide how to act on it. So techniques that work on a full data set may not actually work on a streaming approach, which brings us to the last thing, which is our streaming application, which is essentially something that is putting together all those things. So it's a piece of software that is analyzing streaming data by applying streaming processing techniques. So why we thought it was important clarifying those points, because we will talk about streaming application, and this should give you an idea of what we will mean in the next slides. So we had in mind a to-do list of what we need to define a cloud native streaming application. In the next slides, we will go through all those things, all those items in our to-do list, and we'll give you more details about each one in terms of not only technical challenges, but also a cultural fit.